but I finally did it, so let's see how it goes. Today we're looking into a story that's swirling around your favorite video editing app, CapCut. You know? The one with all the cool music and effects? Well, it turns out, beneath the cute filters and trendy transitions, there might be something not so cool going on. Recently, a major lawsuit was filed against ByteDance, the Chinese company that owns CapCut, and the ever-popular TikTok. The claim is that CapCut is secretly harvesting massive amounts of your personal data, including things like your face scans and voice prints, all without your consent. Now you might be thinking, it's just an app, bro. What's the big deal?
You right, and this is probably the pint to stop watching the video.
Come on. You know me better than that.
But here's the thing. This data isn't just for suggesting cat videos. The lawsuit alleges that CapCut, being a Chinese company, might be forced to share all this sensitive information with the Chinese government. That raises some serious privacy and security concerns. Imagine this. You're editing a funny TikTok vid on CapCut, laughing away. But in the background, the app is silently recording your facial expressions, analyzing your voice. It's collecting details about your device, your network, even your birthday and gender. It's building a complete digital profile of you, and you might not even know it. Remember all those targeted ads that seem to magically know your deepest desires? Well, this kind of data collection is exactly what fuels them. But it's also the stuff of dystopian novels, where governments can track and control your every move based on your online activity. The lawsuit claims that CapCut's privacy policy is so convoluted and confusing, it's practically designed to keep you in the dark about what's happening to your data. They say you, the user, never really get a chance to say yes or no to all this information being collected. This isn't just about keeping your cat videos private, although that's important too. This is about your right to privacy, your freedom from unauthorized surveillance, and your control over your own data. We're talking about potential government involvement, targeted manipulation, and even identity theft. Before I install an app, I look up which country the company is from. I look up who are the major shareholders, etc. Then I make a decision. I know it's tedious, but that's just my playbook. Anyway, do your research, read privacy policies carefully, and choose apps that are transparent about your data. So now, let's get into the same issue, but in a rather strict tone. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening. You've just returned home from work, and it's been a long day. To distress, you pick up your phone and log in on Twitter, or X as we call it now. As you scroll through the endless stream of tweets, it's a bizarre mix of information overload and snippets of daily life. Yet, within this virtual landscape, something insidious is at play. The very platforms designed to connect us have become breeding grounds for subtle manipulation and mass influence. Behind the facade of witty remarks and viral memes lies a complex web of algorithms shaping what you see, think, and believe.
Internet algorithms learn about our behavior, our psychology even, our emotional state.
In 2014, a researcher named Alexander Kogan created a personality quiz app on Facebook called This Is Your Digital Life. The app collected data not only from users who took the quiz but also from their friends, even if they hadn't installed the app. This resulted in the unauthorized harvesting of personal information from over 87 million Facebook profiles. Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, acquired this data through Kogan. They used it to build detailed psychological profiles of millions of American voters, allowing them to target them with personalized political ads and messages during the 2016 US presidential election. This came to be known as the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Fast forward to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was one of the few global events that got the whole world working together again. It was a fight against an invisible enemy hell-bent on making its presence felt. However, in all this global cooperation, we saw the power of media outlets, their abilities to shape the narrative about what was going on. This led to the rise in fake news, internet personalities who thought they knew more than experts releasing their thoughts on current events to millions of people. On the other hand, news outlets, with the fear of losing business, resorted to publishing facts that were not entirely verified to billions of people worldwide. We have seen a lot of such instances, and I won't get into deep specifics of such events, but if you want me to, I can do another video on them. In this video, I wanted to help you understand the types of tactics used and how to identify them so that you won't fall victim to such propaganda. the next time you see a post or headline like this. So how can you spot internet information that aims to sway your opinion? Well, I have a checklist here. 1. Look at the framing of the content. The way information is presented can have a profound impact on how people perceive it. By framing an issue in a certain way, manipulators can influence people's emotions and opinions without even having to present false information. Let's take a look at 2 separate examples here. The war on terror. The use of this term by the US government after the 9/11 attacks framed the issue as a battle against a common enemy, rallying public support for military action in Afghanistan and Iraq. I am not saying I condone the act, but for Iraq's invasion to be possible, public opinion had to be swayed. The second example is green, or eco-friendly products. These terms are used in marketing to frame products as environmentally responsible choices, influencing consumer behavior and purchasing decisions. The second thing to look out for is selective exposure. People tend to seek out information that confirms their existing beliefs and avoid information that contradicts them. Social media algorithms and filter bubbles can exacerbate this tendency by creating echo chambers where people are only exposed to information that they already agree with. Let's look at political news, for example. A person who supports a particular political party may seek out news sources that align with that party's views, and may ignore or dismiss information from sources that present opposing viewpoints. Social media algorithms can reinforce this by showing users more of the same type of content they've previously engaged with. This can lead to a skewed understanding of current events and a reinforcement of existing beliefs. The last thing to look out for in this checklist is if what you are watching appeals to your emotions. Manipulators often try to evoke strong emotions, such as fear, anger, or hatred, to make people more susceptible to their message. Let's look at fundraising, for example. Charities may use emotional appeals, such as showing images of suffering children or animals, to motivate people to donate. This is not all bad bait, but the purpose of this video is to show some of these tactics and how they have evolved to even be used in a rather diabolical way, and how you should protect yourself from them. Now that we understand the basics, the question remains, how does one ensure that the information they consume is free of disinformation? You need to understand a few things first. The moment you turn on your device, you are allowing others to tell you their perspectives. Back in the early days of the internet, we used to have genuine content. People used to post only what they were experiencing, and others only posted their lives to make others laugh. However, with big tech rolling in the big checks, there was a huge influx of content creators trying to grab your attention so that they beat the algorithm, as they normally put it. This, in turn, has caused a surge in poor quality content and fake news on many platforms. Leading us back to the question, how do you guard your brain in this jungle of ones and zeros? Non-profit research organizations. Look into organizations like First Draft News and the Oxford Internet Institute's Computational Propaganda Research Project for their research on online misinformation. Also, visit the International Fact-Checking Network's database of debunked claims to find examples of misinformation related to various topics, including the pandemic and elections. The nonpartisan website factcheck.org has a section dedicated to debunking election-related misinformation. Last but not least, create your own network of sources by registering for newsletters from different sources in different countries, so you don't fall prey to state-sponsored propaganda. And remember, be cautious about who you pick, because depending on who is backing that institution, at the end of the day, they have to account to shareholders.